All right, guys, it's time for my Week 5 predictions this week, starting out with Kentucky versus Eastern Michigan. So Kentucky's only loss coming from Florida last week, where they lost 28-27. They missed a game-winning field goal. Will they have the hangover effect that's plagued a couple other SEC teams this previous week, or will they be able to dominate a team they should be able to dominate? I say Kentucky kind of dominates them in the second half. They struggle in the first half, and they win 35-17 against Eastern Michigan. Number 25 in the nation, LSU, 3-1. Only lost for Mississippi State so far, playing a Troy team that's 3-1. I say LSU bounced back after struggling against a Syracuse team last week, and they win 45-14. Arkansas, 1-2, hosting New Mexico State, 2-2. And I say at the end of this game, Arkansas will be 2-2 after beating New Mexico State 28-17. So Florida has another big game this week. They're also number 21 in the country, by the way, right now. They're 2-1, only loss coming from Michigan. And Vanderbilt's 3-1, only loss coming from Bama. Well, last week they got Bama, so it was 59-0. Now I believe that this is the one team that could most likely be affected by a hangover effect, because boy did they get it last week. So I still think it's going to be a close game, because I believe it was a close game last year, and I say Florida wins this game 31-24 and improves to a perfect record so far in the SEC. So next up on our list, Texas A&M hosting South Carolina. Well, South Carolina struggled against Louisiana Tech last week, having to beat them with a game-winning field goal with like 3 seconds left. They won that 17-16. And they're going up against a really good Texas A&M team. I think they're underrated. You know, they played certain teams down to their level. They can definitely play better, and I think they will this week, and they win 49-24 over South Carolina. Next game, number 1 in the nation, Alabama, 4-0, haven't lost a game. Going up against Ole Miss, 2-1. Now, I'll tell you guys this. Ole Miss is the one team that, Alabama can struggle against every year and still beat, or they can struggle against, play down to Ole Miss's level, or Ole Miss will play up. This is one of the better games in the SEC West every year, because Bama could either go in and blow them out, or it's going to be a close game and Ole Miss upsets them. They've done it before, and this could be another year to do it. But I say Alabama comes in ready to play. They're playing at home. That's going to have a big effect on this game, and they win 56-10. So, most important game of the week, in my opinion, Tennessee versus Georgia, number 7 in the nation. They're 4-0. Tennessee's 3-1, only loss so far coming from the Florida team. And will Tennessee be able to bounce back this week? Well, the last couple of years, I believe the last 3 years, it's been within 7 points at the max who wins this game. We've won the last 2, and I think even though we struggled this year, we're still going to play them close. But at the end of the day, Georgia wins 42-35 over Tennessee, and I really hope that Tennessee proves me wrong this week, because that would be really cool. But you got to think of it, this is one of the best Georgia teams we've seen in a long time, and their defense is solid, their running game is fantastic, and if we don't come to play this week, it could get ugly. It really could get ugly. So, moving on to the next game on our list, number 13 Auburn hosting number 24 Mississippi State. Mississippi State's only lost so far, coming off of a really good Georgia team last week, where they got beat, I believe, 31-3. And Auburn's only loss of the season coming against Clemson, where they lost 14-6. I'm pretty sure about that one. Don't hold me to it, though. So, Auburn, what do you think they're going to do this week? I think they're going to come in. I think it's going to be a close game. Mississippi State's going to play them close, and it's going to be 17-14. So some other games in the top 25. Oh, by the way, Auburn, not Mississippi State, wins. Top 25, Washington State, number 16, undefeated this season so far, hosts number 5 USC, who's also undefeated this far in the season. And USC has struggled against a couple teams they probably should have beat pretty bad. So I'm really thinking this could be one of the bigger upsets this week. But I say that they'll hold their ground, because they've played it close and been able to pull out this season, and they win 24-17 over Washington State. So another big game this week, Virginia Tech, number 12 in the nation, 4-0, goes against number 2 in the nation, Clemson, who's also 4-0. I believe this will be a close game in the first half, and Clemson runs away with it in the second half, and they'll win that game 31-12 over Virginia Tech. Another game that's going to be a good one to watch this week, undefeated Texas Tech goes against number 25 in the nation, Oklahoma State. Number 15 in the nation, Oklahoma State, whose only loss coming from TCU last week. So I believe this is going to be the upset of the week right here. I think Texas Tech's going to come in. They're playing at home. They got home field advantage over them, and I say they win 24-21 over Oklahoma State and pull the upset. Duke, I believe they're undefeated so far. So is Miami coming into this one. Miami's ranked number 14 in the country. They've had to cancel or postpone some of their games due to that hurricane that come through Florida a couple weeks ago. And I say that they come out ready to play, and they beat Duke 38-28. Couple games this week that could be good that are not top 25 are, I got them listed right here. Oregon, 3-1. Only lost coming to Arizona State last week where they fell out of the top 25 against a 3-1 California team. I think this is going to be a good one to watch, and I think California will win 28-17 over Oregon. So this next one, you guys are probably going to be like, Charles, why you got this on here? You know, they're terrible. Kansas State 2-1. Their only loss coming from Vanderbilt this season. And Baylor 0-4. So I know people are probably scratching their head why I picked this one. Well, after the way Baylor played Oklahoma last week, played them close. Oklahoma was like number 3 or number 2 in the nation around this time. And they only lost by 7 or 8. And it was like 49-41, something like that. They played a really good game against them. And Kansas State got beat by Vanderbilt. Not saying, Vanderbilt sucks or anything. Definitely not saying that. Respect Vanderbilt this year. They look pretty good in their other games other than the Alabama game. I think Baylor's going to come in and get their first win of the season right here. And they beat Kansas State 28-21. I think it'll be a good game to watch, even though the stats and records may not show it. So the next game on the list, Wake Forest, 4-0, going up against an 0-2 Florida State team. I did get the Florida State record wrong in the last recap video when they got upset. I apologize for that. I think this will be a good game to watch. I think Florida State will ultimately win it, though, and get their first win of the season, which is very crucial. They need this in order to move forward this season. Another game to watch this week that could be a good one, Stanford, Arizona State. So Arizona State's 2-2, so is Stanford. And Arizona State upset Oregon last week. I think they beat Oregon at Oregon. And now they're playing at Stanford. And I think they'll come out and have a good performance this week. And my prediction is 28-10 Arizona State. Now this is my non-conference in the SEC and my not top 25 game of the week this week. Michigan State hosting Iowa. I think it's going to be a really good game to watch. And Iowa just about upset number 4 in the nation, Penn State, last week. And Michigan State lost to Notre Dame, I believe it was. And that was their only loss of the season. These are two teams that I really think can come and play to an ultimate level this season if they come ready to play every week. And don't be surprised you see them in the top 25 in a couple more weeks because they're both really good teams. I think Iowa wins this game 35-24 over Michigan State and kind of bounce back after a heartbreaking loss to Penn State last week. So these are my predictions for the week, guys. I hope I did a good job and hope I made a little bit of sense out of it. And we'll see how it goes. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.